Hi everyone, Rob DeLise here with Stonegate Legal Services. In this video today, we're going to be talking about common etiquette when listing a tenanted property. Landlords and real estate agents, please, when you're dealing with tenants, you must treat them with respect. Even though as a landlord, this is your home and your property, for that tenant, this is their domicile or where they are living. So we need to understand that when you are listing rental properties, there's things that we need to acknowledge. Number one is 24 hours notice must be given for all showings. The only caveat to that would be is that if the tenant agrees on a blanket agreement that anytime between 9 and 5 or 10 and 4, whatever the time is, through the brokerage so that you don't have to post a notice each time, that is fine as long as the tenant agrees. However, they can change their mind any time. Number two is cooperation is not mandatory. It's ideal. Understand that when you list a tenanted property, the tenant is in control of the showings. They must consent on any pictures. They must consent on any videos. So if they don't cooperate or they're looking for different time frames of when they will allow for showings, you're going to need to work with them. If they completely deny you, you can file with the landlord and tenant board for interference. However, you're going to be looking at 4 to 6 months to get to the board, 2 months to get the order, and I can't guarantee you that in the order it will include an eviction. Since it is a behavioral matter, they may allow the tenant to stay. And in fact, in most cases, they will allow the tenant to stay. Next is disclosure of tenancy in the MLS listing. It's important that you let buyers know about the tenancy so that they can make a decision on whether or not they want to assume the tenancy. Which now leads us into the last one, is selling with a tenant might be appeal to some investors. This is mostly for multi-residential units that if they're paying market value, some investors will want to keep the tenants. Now, if it's below market value, then you can still get the buyer to assume the tenant, possibly at a discounted fee. That is something that could be negotiated with the listing agent, the buyer agent, or the seller and the buyer. Its main thing of this video is to understand that the tenant and the landlord should have mutual respect, and they should understand that selling a property is not easy, it's a little encumbering, so have respect for each other, and I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, let us know.